So, I just binge watched the Forbidden anime. Honestly, it's more loot than it is Isekai, but we're not gonna talk about that. What I want to talk about is the game mechanics and how it really bothers me. For those of you that don't know, hey, my name's Akira and I talk about things that interest me. And while this anime is still fresh in my mind, please don't watch it. I might as well talk about what really caught my eye when I was watching it. Please don't watch it. And if you like what I do, please consider subscribing and let me know what you thought in the comments below. It really does help me out, so please consider doing it. So the MC downloads some really sketchy VR game and realizes very quickly that he is forever stuck in this world. See, this is why you shouldn't go on sketchy websites unprotected. But thanks to today's sponsor, NordVPN. Just kidding, this video isn't sponsored. It would be pretty cool though. So the MC gets some normal RPG abilities such as Identify, where he can get a bit of information such as a person's job class or the name of an object. This is also where he can check his own stats. He actually got some really good bonus equipment, which is a bit too overpowered. This sword has no right to be 5 times power, honestly. What it does have that I like is HP and MP absorption, along with the incantation interruption. You might be wondering what that last one is, and basically in this world, every time you want to cast a spell, you need to say the special words and concentrate on it. And this sword can pretty much stop the casting of spells, which is really cool. Not only that, but every time you do damage with the sword, you can steal HP and MP. That alone makes this sword really worth it. But adding the ×5 power just makes the sword way too good, to the point where you wouldn't really want to replace it. RPGs are built on progression, so having a weapon like that off the bat really ruins the progression since you never really want to replace a weapon like this. If it just had the MP and HP absorption along with the spell interruption, it would be a really good starting weapon, and would still leave room for a better sword later on down the road. You could still keep this one as a backup too for certain situations as well. He also gets this ring, which I totally forgot about. I think this anime even forgets about because it's never brought up ever again. It has a passive attack increase along with charisma enhancement because socializing is hard, I guess. Upon grabbing some random shoes and wearing them, the MC actually gets the Thief class unlocked, which is cool, I guess. Then he protects a village and gets the Hero class and even levels up. Apparently the system allows you to reset your character and the points that you invested. He ends up doing this to the sword just in case someone steals it, which doesn't really make sense because he was planning to use his overpowered sword in the dungeon anyways. I don't know. You can also do the same with passive skills, just being able to remove and re-equip them, which once again, why would you do that? We also learned that the MC can have multiple jobs equipped and they each give their benefits. I know a few games that sort of lets you do this where you can change your classes and level those up, but the MC never has to remove them. He can forever get all the benefits of every class he gets, which the classes seem to be way too easy to get. He got the Hero class from saving the village, the Explorer job from just answering a dungeon, the Thief job by putting on some random shoes he found in the corner, and the Hero class giving him such a good skill. It's called Overwhelming. It lets the MC slow down time for a few seconds. It apparently costs a ton of MP, but it doesn't even matter because the MC can just reset his character and put all the points into MP. It's not like he needs any other stat anyways, because his magic sword gives a 5 times power bonus, which is insane, and the Hero class gives him a moderate everything increase, and the ring gives him a strength increase, so just invest in speed and MP and that's all you need, honestly. And it's not like it even matters what you invest in because he can just switch it on the fly. When he wanted to get the Monk class, he resets his character and invests all his points into strength, because the way to unlock the Monk class is to defeat an enemy with your fist. Not only that, but one of the bonus skills he started off with was a 30% sell price increase, incantation reduction, and a crit rate thing. Meaning he doesn't have to worry about money, can cast spells with fewer words, and can crit things, I guess. It's ridiculous, honestly. Alright, so here's the part I hate the most. So there's these black empty crystals that you need to buy if you plan on going to the dungeon. These crystals can change color depending on the amount of monsters you kill. It turns its first color after 100, and it can go all the way up to like 1,000,000 monster kills. And the whole point of these crystals is to kind of like seal the monster's soul or whatever, that way you can sell it for profits. These crystals are actually kind of rare, at least filled up. You can buy empty crystals for like cheap. So if you're like an adventurer or explorer of some kind, you'd want to buy these crystals and try to kill monsters that we can fill it up and have profits. It sounds pretty hard, right? You know, like you gotta kill 100 in order for it to be profitable. Okay, so let's say your entire job is taking on a dungeon. You do that every day so you can live, you know, you're selling your monster drops, and after a hard month of work of killing monsters, you sell this crystal for a lot of money. And then we have the MC, who naturally has crystal upgrade times 32, meaning the MC barely has to do anything and he could just get infinite money. And he chooses to deactivate it because, oh, he doesn't need the money right now. Get the fuck out of here. Kazuma is crying right now as he hides under a table from being in so much debt. Honestly, I'd be okay with this if the MC didn't break the laws of physics. When he gets a second party member, which is like in episode 12, which is pretty fucking dumb, it finally becomes clear that, yeah, you're not supposed to have multiple jobs at once, and he's literally breaking the rules of this world. As a video game isekai, this works, kind of, obviously, because it was clear that after the first episode, this would be a wish fulfillment fun fantasy with a self-insert gamer protagonist. But it definitely had my hopes up, and it felt very video gamey. A lot of these types of isekais never delve into the video game aspect enough in my opinion. It's always just like, oh, a little bit of flavor here and there, like it's nothing more than that. Of course, there are some really good anime that do it justice, but as far as I know, this system is a first for me. I've never really seen a system that works like this in an anime. Honestly, I would like the ability to be able to optimize and change my classes on the fly and switch out my skills. That could be really interesting to watch, because then we get to see something that we don't see often in these type of shows. Strategy. You know, we're not just hitting it till it dies. Alright, let me actually talk about the show now. It's not good. Really liked the first episode. Second one had some really cool moments, but it was all wasted because the people making this had one job. Make it lewd! Every episode is really samey, with it being boiled down to going to the dungeon and then have some loot. Sexy time. Oh. It feels different enough, I guess, since the MC is gradually becoming more and more OP, but yeah, it really has no story, and most people who watch this are only really there for the loot ecchi parts, so it makes sense that this doesn't really have a story, and whatever story was set up was immediately ditched. Because, I mean, yeah, it makes sense. So you have some sort of hook so you can get the interest of the watcher, then once you have it, throw it out the window and prioritize what you want in the first place, which is sexy time. 0 out of 10, I'd rather watch Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2.